Alright. How's this working? There is a bit of a delay on there. Okay, there is a sizable delay there. No. Yeah. Frame rate's kind of jumping around the place. So I'll just keep an eye on that, see if it actually works. Alright, come on. This should not be. It is running quite slowly. 2600 kbps. Percentage of drop frames is decreasing, slowly but surely. Right, where are we? We're in Numara Atoll. I don't think we can do anything in here at the moment. This is where Ming's heavenly beast resides. The heavenly beast. Briefly, healing her. I'm on the 4th disc and I still don't have. I don't have the ability. Good rings, like really decent rings. Yay. Come on. Finally. That being a lot of help.
Let us pray for those who've passed.
Couldn't even get them all to level up after all that. That'll do. What do they have equipped? some stuff. That's fine. Skill links. What are their skill links? They all still learning double experience. No, you're learning. You learn double experience. I'm gonna have to throw Sarah back into the party at some point to get her leveled up. I don't see anything. Yeah, like I don't see anything flashing. It tells me there's an item around. Right. You can't go there. Where? Is it City of Aurora where we want? I don't know where we want to go. All right. Where? Gate pass, tricky talisman, seeds, power locator, magical lock key. Wait, the key needed to battle stronger backyard enemies. Okay. Right, so Terrace Cave. Okay, we'll go back to the atoll and if we run straight ahead, will it tell us? Because from what I understand, you need Ming's harp to do anything in here, which we do not have. Oh, it's beautiful. Is this where the holy beast lives, Queen? Yes, back before Namara even existed, the beast lived on these reefs. I don't sense anything around here. Well, the holy beast prefers not to show itself in front of people, but I can summon it with the sound of my harp.
Numara's here!
Alright, attack. So, black magic. Black magic. There. don't think there's a difference. Oh, that. Yeah, I don't think getting perfect with some of these is really making much of a difference.
Well, that seemed like a needless battle.
Couple of level ups. Jansen and Ming, they Seth learned, Ming learned. Alright. Learn some stuff. And Cook can heal. Yeah, that'll do.
What you want, you got it.
Yay. Oh. I think it looks like. What's his name? Looks like Kyne's in there who really does a bit more damage to it to perfect. I can do enough damage to kill it before it gets a shot off.
That was close.
Okay, I really do wish that the mortal characters would all get. Oh shit. think that thing has... And it's... Hmm. Fuck. That would have died. Like, it should
Let
have
us
just...
pray for those who've passed.
Like, what's the fucking point? Like, I can't speed up my characters. There's nothing I can do about increasing their stats like that. They are as fast as they are. I can't put speed shoes on them. I can't do anything like that. Fucking annoys the shit out of me. Right, you know what, let's yeah, we'll just go to a port, pop into the ship and talk to someone. Yeah, this might be what I have to do. Figure out where I'm meant to go. We're going to stop Gongora quickly, it is our duty. You can see the helm pretty well from here. So fascinating watching how this ship is controlled. I can't help but stare at it. So what's next? We're going to track down Gongora and give him the works, right? No, I want to talk to this guy. I can't just let you steer, but I can at least teach you how. No. So I have to track down Gongora. I'm inspecting the ship's weapons. Could you wait a bit longer for me? I'm actually on a ship with the great pirate said. This is incredible. Right, okay, so we have to figure out where Gongora went. He took off in Grandstone. No, God, I pressed the wrong button. No, not depart, yes. Okay. So, are we supposed to actually look for ground stuff? Like, are we meant to actually be on the lookout for it? What's that thing?
What is that thing?
Arthrosaurus.
Wasn't that turned into stone?
In exchange for the sealing of your memories, right? It's a trap set by Gongora. He devised it so that Arthrosaurus would revive when my memories returned.
Said, land in Numara. Aye, aye.
Okay.
This time, Ming, we're gonna help you protect your kingdom.
And they just ram straight into it.
Guess he doesn't know who he's fooling with, climbing on board like this.
Set the pirate!
Set, stop the ship! We'll take him on right here. Aye, aye, sir.
Oh yeah, that sounds like.
This is just another ordeal.
Right. He's Earth-based. You know what? Earth-based means he doesn't like wind. Because it should mean he doesn't like wind. I think it's going to be that he doesn't like water. Oh, there we go.
Beware my blade.
Better brace yourself.
12.
This time it's for keeps.
Good to go. Nope, that'll do. That's a nice hit. No. Fine. He's a heavy hitter. Bit. Oh wait. Yeah, I guess it's for magic. No, that's
Better brace yourself.
This time it's for keeps.
ooh, yeah. Okay. So he can cast that on himself. Like, you can. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do. Nothing that you have. You're petrified.
Okay.
This time it's for keeps.
Really?
Well, have you fallen for me yet?
Kind learned, Seth learned, Ming learned. Well, they're all just stuff that's equipped. To say, is that big hug headed for the city? View the Arthosaurus' attack control. The revived Arthosaurus pack will attack the city of Numara. Defeat them before they reach the city limits. The game is over if even a single Arthosaurus reaches Numara. But any Arthosaurus to begin battle, you must defeat each one as quickly as possible. If you have trouble defeating them quickly, try halting their advancement by other means, such as putting them to sleep by using magic or rings. Sleeping Arthrosaurus will stop moving for a while. Defeat them while they are sleeping. You can find treasures at the fish bed during this minigame. Try to pick them up as you battle the Arthrosauruses. Oh. slowly.
Oh yeah! Let's get it on!
Hmm. Does he have? Yeah, black magic.
Here.
This time is for keeps.
Better brace yourself.
Here.
Beware my blade!
How much damage is Tank going to do now? We can do an awful lot more than
Better brace
Ordinance
yourself.
Powers. See? Powerless, I think, is the thing.
This time is for keeps.
Beware my blade!
Better brace yourself.
Right, I need to heal. What else do I need to do then? Mana? No, put this for. I don't get the whole thing about putting them to sleep.
This does not look good.
No, wait, no, he's. Oh, should be moving faster. Yeah, using her was a complete mistake.
Here.
Beware my blade!
Come on, I'm not going to get those two.
Better brace yourself.
Not Windows. What are we doing? There it is. And you heal.
Okay.
Better brace yourself.
This time it's for keeps.
Beware my blade!
No. Alright.
Beware my blade!
Less than ideal.
Better brace yourself.
They're gonna hit me now. Like, there's nothing I can do.
This time it's for keeps.
It's over!
Okay. Speed this up a little bit, please. Uh, change. What are you? No, you don't need that. You need. Okay, someone has something equipped. Yeah. Get rid of that. That needs to go in you. You need that. Usually guards from the enemy's attacks. No. Is there nothing that... No. something that restores. It does something.
Let's take him down.
Like, no, fucking Colton has love. No, he's Earth.
Here.
No.
Better brace yourself.
This time it's for keeps.
No, retry. Did I? Spirit magic. Maybe I have that equipped. Either magic learn it. Yeah, sure, why not?
Now's our chance!
What are you? You are Earth, which means you are Nine. Oh, sleep is there. No. Good night.
This time it's for keeps.
Beware my blade!
Put me to sleep and then wake up.
Better brace yourself. Better brace yourself.
This time it's for keeps.
Beware my blade!
Of course he is.
Better brace yourself.
This time it's for keeps.
Alright. Speed up this, please. Here. How do we go? Anything interesting? Think to the wing. What is that? Okay. Alright, so just leave and then run away.
Leave now?
Alright, he's asleep.
Let's get out of here.
Alright. I get it.
Oh, I
Kinda.
think I'm gonna like this.
Let's get out of here.
Wait, did that guy wake up again straight away?
Ha! Not too smart, eh?
That's not it. say you're a walker.
Better brace yourself.
Beware my blade!
This time it's for keeps.
I think this is another one of those ones that's not marked properly.
Beware my blade!
Better brace yourself.
This time it's for keeps.
Right. That's what it is. This is kind of frustrating. This is a thing.
This time it's for keeps.
Beware my blade!
Better brace yourself.
Just move this part along. Alright, to heal them all up again. Have to give them items to do. Will do.
Not too smart, eh?
Oh, we have a time limit. The intro cutscenes are a bit unnecessary. Wind, Odyssey works.
Beware my blade!
Better brace yourself.
Critical hit will be nice.
This time it's for keeps.
Skill to increase the odds of critical hits. Would be nice too. Ah, fuck, I didn't pay attention.
This time it's for keeps.
It's always when you
Brace
waddle
yourself.
the two are getting mixed up enough.
Beware my blade! blade.
Better brace yourself.
This time it's for keeps.
Yeah, when you hit them with the right magic. Control magic. I wish this thing was easier to control. Right, how are they for health? Mostly alright. I'll throw it. Everyone should do it. Everyone should be. Let's see. Good thing I left that. I would have been missing it.
Oh yeah! Let's get it on!
Alright. Individually, they are very manageable. What are you, fires? Nope, you don't like water. That's weird. If I had like the third of it, this would be easy.
This time it's for keeps.
Quaus. Quas. However you pronounce it.
Beware my blade!
Better brace yourself.
Beware my blade!
Better brace yourself.
This time it's for keeps.
I can't. Plays all the time.
yourself.
How long
This time
does
is
it
for
actually
keeps.
last? No time will last. Oh, it's kind of pointless. Unless you can attack before the enemy. Unless you can get the moving before the enemy. It's kind of pointless.
Phew. That was a close one.
I learned John Tail. Alright, we defeated the Arthosaurus. Sure did. Lucky for us, humming. Yes, thank you. Well, that took care of that. Let's see what's going on back in Numara. So we can go back to Numara now? Landing point at Numara Port. And we go into Port of Numara. We still have those crimson crystal fragments, whatever they are, to give to that guy. Okay, we're connected. Excellent. When I pass by, just go in to talk to me. I can't be bothered. That's something else. Loves his job. I came in this way before, didn't I? What are you doing in a place like this? There's not any useful left here anymore. The ship was stolen by those damn spies. Oh, I even got demoted thanks to those rotten crooks. Queen Ming is back. Thank goodness. Now everything will be better again. Those soldiers are always pushing us too hard. It's best to just keep a low profile around here. Oh yeah. This is where I went in to get the sea cutter or whatever it was called. No, the one that had Seth's old engine. I think it's crazy that their big thing was just they built a ship and they found an engine and they're like, oh, we'll just stick this engine on the ship. I think Kakanas is going to welcome Queen Ming home. I've got a bad feeling about all this. Kakanas. Alright, 1 month is nothing. Been sleeping aboard the White Boa for half a year already. General Kakanas is a real slave driver. I haven't been home since last month. General Shitty Pants. Wait. Still, I guess we can't be too careful. Let's talk war after all. White Boa is still being equipped with more weapons. What are they planning to do with this much firepower? Is he in here? No, he's down the other way. I think he's down by the save point. The Arthosaurus attacked. They killed a bunch of people in what's now called the Ghost Town. One of my friends went back there to retrieve a family heirloom. What they made out was a sea of flames mixed with sounds of the beast footsteps. Thump, thump, thump. I don't think story time is appropriate time. At that point, he figured his life was more precious than the heirloom, so he threw it somewhere and ran off. Though he put it, if he didn't do that, he wouldn't be here today. Okay. Right, there we go. Found a treasure. Just so insensitive. I wanted to visit my son, but she insisted that there's no need. I guess I've ransacked this place already. So you talk to people just so that you can find out where they've hidden stuff or where they've lost stuff, so you can take it and not return it. No. The queen has returned back in the server any longer. Now they'll simply finally recover. We'll make us back home, so everything will be okay. Remember, it is something not just anyone could defeat that Arthur Shores. Alright. I see where it is. See the little flashing circle. Reversa. There's a pipit around. It's not over here. I think he's at their house. I think. But it's been a while since I've been in here. Yeah, there he is. So this is Lirim's house. Yep. Mom's, Dad's, Max, and my house. It's very nice. Lirim must have been happy here. Yeah. Hello. Give it seeds. 7 seeds. Total 79. I think I need 3 more. I think it's 82 is the total. I think it. Fucking Max house. Oh, what's this? Have I read this already? The medicine you order is in this paragraph. Yeah. Where Lirim died. And upstairs. Wow, I'm rich. I would have expected more from that cutscene. You know, turn up, oh, this is my dead daughter's home. Yep. Well, moving on. Head down here. This is where the funeral was. Okay. I sometimes do deliveries, and one of the houses I've delivered to is like right on the coast like this. Like this stretch of ground from the bottom of the steps over there, that is probably how much land they have like just like a lawn between them and the ocean, and it's probably about that long. Just flat strip of grass, you know, and then Atlantic. I think I was saying I found an interesting thing about um, people is that there are people who need to live by water. I remember reading this thing is that there are people who, when they're choosing where to live, they have to live by water. I think that's a requirement for them. Like if it a lake, a river, the ocean, it's just like it doesn't matter as long as they live near water. Kind of get it. I think about he's worried sick about that bridge. Well, the bridge is down. Good. The kid didn't like General Kakana's tanks very much, but he welcomed the Queen back with open arms. Okay. Right, so, wait, hold on. Hold on just a moment. Can I... Why is... Oh, I'm talking about this drawbridge. Stupid little tanks made my kid unhappy. Right. Okay, now what? Or maybe am I meant to go... Am I meant to go talk to someone at the port? To head in here or something. Maybe talk to this guy. Those gun-wielding dogs buying my goods at less than a cost. I'm all on credit too. I'm almost finished. Where's the boa? Even the Queen can't enter a military facility without the permission of General Kakanas. Hey, you're the Uran spies, aren't you? Oh wait, never mind. I'm sorry. Please don't mind me. Where in the name of Christ am I meant to be going? Where is it? What's he staring at? Am I just meant to follow where he's looking? You think Kakanis is just going to... Oh, you got a bad feeling about this? No, I talked to him already. Right. Can I open the door? I hear the... No. Okay. Now, if... No, if it was a thing where he... Jesus Christ, that does not look comfortable. If it was a thing where he would actually look in the direction you're expected to go, that would be interesting. But... I don't think that's what happens. Right. Oh, City of Numara. I can just go into the city. I thought I had to go through the port. The free ocean state of Numara. Welcome back, my queen. Queen Ming is back. Pretty popular, aren't you? Why don't you say something to them? I apologize for being away so long. I'm glad to see all of you well. Well, I'm glad to see you too, Queen. Still so beautiful and so strong. I knew we could trust Queen Ming to defeat the Arthrosaurus. Why? Where is the focus? Who's speaking? Is the person why is everything so... Numara is saved, and all thanks to you. Thank you so much, Queen Ming. I'm so happy your queen is back. Hopefully you'll put General Kakanas in his place. Kakanas, huh? Guess your absence must have turned him loose. Well, now what, Ming? Are we going back to the palace? Kakanas may have some sort of trap set up. No, I'll be alright. I have an important task to take care of. Yes, I think... Say these monsters in the Crimson Forest are in places you normally can't get to. I wonder if anyone has seen any. What monsters? Don't mind whatever sort of power Queen Ming has. Even magic power. It's when General Kakanis gets his hands on that power that I start to get jittery. Couldn't have defeated that monster without magic. Queen Ming really pulled for us. Right. What monsters? Citizen soldiers were at a total loss against the Arthrosaurus. Pretty pathetic, considering the sort of act it puts on. Thank you. Oh, it's always... the arms be mighty nice. Sparkly thing over there. You know what it is? What sparkly thing? Throw a coin behind your back and all your dreams will come true. Excellent. Can I throw a coin? What sparkly thing? Is there something? I don't know. Sometimes they say things, characters will say things, and you're just like, okay, can I follow on from that somehow? Get a bit more information? Picking on every soldier passing by already, and well, I'm just trying to teach this young man a lesson. Hey you, listen when you're spoken to. There's the Saurus resurrected? How terrifying. Just recalling the events of 30 years ago makes me uneasy. That win. Oh, look. Hit the cubes in the correct pattern to create a melody and earn a fabulous prize. Want to give it a shot? Give it a shot, maybe. Cubic Music 7. No. Yeah, I need to write it down. Right, I think this heads to the port. God, my mom's so slow. She really ought to stay home and take care of the housework instead. She's getting too old for this. Well, sorry. No, she probably not. Oh, sorry. That was a memory. A dream hath been revealed. Return of the native. The mother stands by the island pier waiting for her son. Her luggage is bigger than she is. Dressed in her finest travelling clothes, she seems hardly able to contain her excitement as she speaks to Kine, who happens to be waiting for the same boat to arrive. I got a letter from him, she says. Almost 30 years have passed since her only son left the island of his birth. There was no word from him in all that time until he recently wrote announcing his successes in his plan to bring her to the mainland. I've been alone ever since I lost my husband, so just to think I might be able to spend the rest of my life with my son, his wife, and our grandchildren. She sold the house she had always lived in and has been waiting for her son to come for her. The letter arrived over a week ago. I wonder why it's taking him so long. The seas are calm. Kym arrived here on yesterday's ferry. You mean he's late? Kym asks with some surprise. Very, she replies, forcing a smile. I wonder what's wrong. Maybe he got busy all of a sudden and can't pull himself away from his work. He hasn't written again to explain. Well, he's never bothered with things like that, not since he was a child, she says, straining to smile again and glancing toward the horizon. No bigger than a dot at first, the boat is now big enough for a clear view of the mast in silhouette. Anyhow, I'm not worried. I know he'll be on this boat, she says, raising herself from the dockside crate on which she is sitting and waving a handkerchief toward the approaching vessel. Kym also stares hard at the boat, which gives his eyes a stern expression. Young man. At the sound of the mother's voice, Kym hastens to soften his gaze before turning toward her. You are a traveller, aren't you? That's right, he says. I saw you arrive on yesterday's ferry. Are you leaving so soon? She is obviously curious about the stranger, but her face shows no wariness towards outsiders. Relieved to see this, Kym replies. Well, I'm doing the same thing you are, waiting for someone to arrive. On this boat? Yes, probably. You haven't been in touch with the person? No, we haven't agreed on a time. I might be waiting for nothing too. Oh, really? Kym evades further questioning with a strained smile. This is not something he can discuss with just anyone. He is on a secret mission, one that must not fail. The woman still wears a look of puzzlement, but their conversation is swallowed up in the general hubbub on shore, accompanying the approaching of the boat. At last, the ferry arrives. One by one, the passengers alight after their half-day trip from the capital on the mainland. Clutching the handkerchief to her breast, the mother scans each of them. There are peddlers who travel from island to island, hawking their wares, and men who have come to do larger-scale trading, sunburned young men and women who arrive from the mainland in groups to work on the island's farms, and men coming home to the island after a season of labour on the mainland. None of the dozen passengers, however, is the woman's son. Once it has disgorged its island-bound passengers, the ferry takes on people crossing to the mainland. Greeters on the pier give way to well-wishers. The mother turns her back on the pier's hustle and bustle and plods her way toward the town. She hoists a heavy pack onto her back and lifts a large suitcase in each hand, but she has taken only a few steps when the pack begins to slide off. Kym reaches out to keep it from falling. The woman turns with a look of surprise, and when she realizes that Kym is alone, she asks, "So your person didn't come either?" Looks that way. With only one ferry a day from the mainland, all they can do is wait until tomorrow. Are you going to stay on the island until your friend comes? I might have to. You could run up quite a hotel bill that way. No, I'm alright, I'm used to camping out. Camping out? She exclaims with a look of amazement. Then she smiles and says, "Oh well, you're young, and in good condition. A few days sleeping outdoors shouldn't be too hard on you." What are you going to do, ma'am? Go back home? Well, I wish I could. I sold my house last week. I was so sure my son would come get me right away. A hint of discouragement clouds her face, but she quickly recovers her smile and continues. Well, the money I got for the house is a nice little bundle, so I've decided to spend freely for a change. See that large hotel over there? I'm staying in their biggest room and taking it easy all day and all night too. I'm disappointed when he doesn't show up, of course, but I've worked my fingers to the bone all these years. It won't hurt for me to indulge myself just this little bit. Although delivered with a smile, her words touch Kym deeply. In her case, worked my fingers to the bone is not just a figure of speech, as evidenced by her suntanned face, which is so unsuited to the cosmetics she has applied to greet her son, and especially by her bony fingers, say so ill concealed by the cheap rings she is wearing. Hard as she undoubtedly worked, life has granted her few rewards. There is nothing expensive about her luggage. I'm sure your son will be here tomorrow, Kym says. Her deeply wrinkled face breaks into a joyous smile. Yes, of course, tomorrow for sure, she says with a deep nod. Well, I hope the person you are waiting for comes on tomorrow's boat too. Thank you very much, he replies. I have an idea, she says. You might get sick camping out. If you'd like, why not stay in my hotel? I'm sure we could arrange something for one extra person. Kime senses that she's not suggesting this out of mere politeness, which is precisely why he demurs with a smile and a nod. Thanks just the same, he says, but don't worry about me. Just take the rest you deserve after all your long years of hard work. If you say so. She seems somewhat disappointed, but does not press him to accept. As he watches her trudge off toward her hotel alone, all but hidden from view by her huge bundles, Kime wonders if, perhaps, she was hoping that his company might ease her concern that her son might not show up after all. Even so, he decides not to chase after her and retract his refusal. He is the wrong man to spend time with a mother whose only dream is to have a happy old age. Most likely when tomorrow's boat arrives, she will finally be reunited with the son she's longed to see all these years. The person that Kime is waiting for will also most certainly cross over to the island tomorrow. The mother will undoubtedly shed great tears when her reunion takes place. Kime, on the other hand, has a bloody job to perform when he encounters the man he's waiting for. What are the odds that they're one and the same? Kime has been hunting him. The man is a fugitive, and there is a reward on his head. He is known as the boss of an underworld gang in the capital, and he has committed crimes without number. Robbery, fraud, extortion, assault, and even murder. To cap his life of crime, he double-crossed his own gang and ran off with a great deal of money. Word reached the gang only a few days ago that the man is headed for this island, the place of his birth, and they hired Kime to take care of him. The fact that they hired Kime means they are ready to have him killed on sight. Kime and the mother meet at the dock again the next day at the same time. And again the next day. And the next. And the day after that. The ones they are waiting for never come. A week goes by. The mother switches accommodations from her expensive hotel to a cheap inn frequented by travelling peddlers. Actually, I'm more comfortable in a cheap place like this, she tells Kime with a laugh. But more than likely her money would have run out in the first hotel. Your person is very late too, she observes. True. Who is it? He sidesteps the issue with a strained smile. He cannot answer a question if he is going to carry out his duty, and besides, he feels a tiny premonition deep inside. The mother stops questioning him and says, Well, I hope your person comes soon. Another 3 days go by. A messenger from the gang, disguised as a peddler, whispers to Kime as he steps off the ferry. We think he's still hiding in the capital. We're looking in every rat hole we can find, but there is no sign of him. Kime nods silently and glances at the boat. Even after the last passenger alights, the mother stands on the pier, looking up at the boat's empty deck. Let me ask you, young man, the mother says to Kime 3 days later. Does the place where you're camping out have a roof to keep the dew off? Kime has been sleeping in a dilapidated old house he found near the harbour. All I need is a place to sleep, she says. Do you mind if I joined you there? What's that? Well, the place I'm staying now is not much better than a ruin. I'm sure I'd be fine wherever you're staying. Yes, I'm sure I'd be fine. She smiles like a child who has found a new source of mischief. Kime does not refuse her. More precisely, he cannot refuse her. She has probably run out of money even to stay in her current flophouse. Kime has noticed her cheap rings gradually disappearing from her bony fingers. As they pass the night in the abandoned building, the moon their only source of light, the mother, without prompting from Kime, spills out her memories of her son. They are by no means pleasant memories. Known as a roughneck even from his earliest years, the boy was hated by all the neighbours and caused his parents a good deal of shame. He would steal our money, stay out all night partying, and before we knew it, he was the #1 thug on the island. He was always getting into fights and bothering girls. During the island's annual festival, he would go wild and destroy property, so my husband and I would have to go around apologising to everyone. The father, a skilled stonemason, lost a job when the son stole valuables from the boss's house. The mother could hardly walk down the street without being subjected to the glares and finger-pointing of the neighbours. Things got especially bad after her son set fire to the island assembly hall just for fun. Okay, yeah. sounds like a fucking prick. His parents raised him badly. The boy's misbehaviour is the parents' responsibility. The son has become such a thug because his mother spoiled him rotten. It's the parents' fault, the father's fault, the mother's fault, your fault. They had heard it all. It was so hard for us on a little island like this. There was no place we could hide. The boy was 18 when he finally ran away from home, or rather left the island when his parents all but disowned him. The other islanders rejoiced as if a plague had lifted. One man went so far as to deliberately let the parents overhear him declaring, "I hope that bastard goes to the capital and dies in the gutter." The boy's father died 5 years ago. To the very end he would not forgive his son, and in his final delirium he was still apologising to the islanders. Yeah, like, if his son was that bad, you don't need to apologize. You don't need to forgive him. Like, this is one of those weird things about people where they're like, "Oh, your family, you have to forgive family." And it's like, no, if your member of your family does something bad enough, you can tell them to fuck off and never see them again. Like, if it's that serious, like, sharing blood doesn't mean that you have to forgive them if they have actually harmed you in a bad enough way. Like this guy, their son, sounds like fucking a total failure. Like if he's just done that kind of damage to his parents, they can disown him and just say, "Yeah, we never want to see you again." But still, to a mother, any son is the baby she once carried. I never heard a word from him, but I went on praying that he would stay healthy in the capital, that he wouldn't catch whatever epidemic was going around, that he wouldn't get into fights. That's just me, I guess. She gives Kaim a bitter smile. Or maybe it's just me being a mother, she adds. You have parents too, I suppose. Of course you do, everyone has parents. True. Are your father and mother alive and well? Kaim bows his head in silence. On a journey with no clear beginning and no definable end, Kaim is unable to answer a question like this. Instead, he asks the woman, "What is the first thing you'll say when you finally get to meet your son?" Good question, says the mother. After thinking it over a few moments, she replies, "I won't actually say anything. I think I'll just hug him and say nothing at all. I'll hold him tight and let him know how glad I am that he's alive and well." Just supposing, though. Kaim presses her gently. If you knew that he had lived a less than exemplary life in the capital too, would you still give him a hug? Her response is instantaneous. First I'd hug him, and then I'd give him a good talking to. She smiles shyly at Kaim and adds, "That's what being a parent is all about." The next morning she runs a high fever. She may have survived the dew, but a night in the dilapidated building has taken a toll on the old woman's health. Even so, when it's time for the ferry to arrive, she struggles to her feet and heads toward the pier. "If he's on board, I'll bring him here," Kaim assures her. "Tell me how I can recognize him." Cradled in Kaim's arms, half delirious with fever, the old woman mutters, "On his left cheek, before he left the island. He got in a fight. Somebody cut him. He has a scar." Kaim nods and lowers the old woman to a straw mat spread on the ground. He fights back a sigh and closes his eyes momentarily. Then he stares hard through a small window at the ferry dock. His suspicions were right after all, though he was sure of it last night. Kaim was given a written description of the man when he took on the assignment from the gang. There could be no doubt. Scar on left cheek. The ferry is approaching the harbour. The pier is showing signs of activity. Kaim starts for the door. Behind him he hears a woman saying, "Please, don't kill him. Don't kill my boy." Kaim stops short, but instead of turning around, he bites his lip. "I don't know what he did in the capital, but don't kill him. Please." She knows too. She knows everything. "If you have to kill him, if you absolutely have to, please, before you do it, let me just..." Kaim leaves the ruin in silence. His steps are uncertain as he makes his way in the blinding glare of the afternoon sun. This time the man is there. Trying to lose himself among the travelling peddlers, the man with the price on his head and the scar on his left cheek steps down to the pier. He is far more emaciated than Kaim's written description would have led him to believe. No doubt he is exhausted from his years as a fugitive. Still, he has fulfilled his promise to his mother by coming back to the island of his birth. His eyes dart fearfully over the pier. His expression changes from that of a man searching for someone to the panicked look of a child who has become separated from his parent. Kaim slowly plants himself in front of him. The man knows nothing of Kaim's mission, of course, and has never met him before. But he has the instincts of an inhabitant of the back alleys. His face freezes and he turns to flee. Kaim grabs him by the shoulder, but lightly in a way that would make an onlooker think he was witnessing the joyful reunion of old friends. The man tries to shake off the hand, to no avail. It would be easy enough for Kaim to kill him on the spot. His eyes show that he has no strength left to fight. Kaim is far more experienced than the man does at surviving potentially fatal encounters. The man knows this. If you're going to kill me, get it over with, he snarls. But if you've got a trace of kindness in you, you'd give me one last chance to do something good for my mother. It won't take long, just let me see her. Once. Then you can do whatever you like with me. And Kaim lets his hand drop from the man's shoulder. He is not going to run away. So I didn't make it after all, he says with a forced smile. His face tells Kaim that he has probably resigned himself to his fate. It suggests too an air of relief at having finally brought his life to as a fugitive to an end. How many men have you killed? He asks Kaim. I don't have to answer that. I don't really want you to tell me. It's just that, well, looking at you, I'd say I'm older than you are. And there are some things a person comes to realize when he's lived a long time. Think about the guys you've killed. Every single one of them had parents. Killing a person means killing somebody's child, right? When that finally dawned on me, I left the gang. Gangs don't pay retirement bonuses, so I sort of borrowed a little money from them and thought I'd use it to... Well, I've given my mother a hard time all these years. His voice grows thick and muffled. He shakes off the emotion and proclaims with a laugh, "Oh, what the hell? That's a lot of sentimental nonsense. I don't know how many guys I've killed over the years, so I figure I'm getting what I deserve. You know, I can't hate you for what you're doing." A shout comes from the ferry deck. "We will be departing shortly. All passengers bound for the capital should be boarding now." Kaim looks hard at the man and says, "Just tell me one thing." The man says nothing in reply, but Kaim continues. "What's the first thing you're going to do when you see your mother?" "No, what are you talking about?" "Never mind, just answer the question." "I'll say I'm back." "No, I won't say anything. I'll just take her in my arms, that's all. Give her a big hug. Sure, that's what parents and children are all about." Kaim relaxes the grim expression on his face and jerks his chin towards the forest beyond the pier. "There's an old broken down house in the woods. Your mother's waiting for you there. Go to her." "What are you talking about?" "Don't ever come back to the capital. And don't stay on this island. Take another ferry and go far away to some other island. With your mother." The man looks stunned. I mean... His voice is trembling. Kaim says nothing more. He leaves the man behind and strides toward the boat before it can depart. Mission accomplished. Kaim does not care if, in return for his deed, he is labelled a traitor to be pursued by the gang. The image of his own parents praying for their son to have his nonsense faded from his memory. "Pulling out, please hurry," come the cries of the ferry's crew. The big gong is ringing, startled by the sounds reverberating between the vast stretch of ocean and the open sky. Brightly coloured birds dart up from the forest. Large birds and small birds. Parents and their young? The larger birds seem almost to be shielding the smaller ones beneath their slowly beating outstretched wings. The end. Right. Maybe 80 seats is enough. Right, do you have enough for these? Still not feeling it right now. Maybe something to add some crystal fragments from the prison's forest. I know, maybe I got 13 more. Here you go. Brought a lot of crystal fragments for me. Found you, this mysterious light. Oh yes, it's coming to me now. Thank you for this rare relic. I think I can feel my muse returning. Afraid I have little to reward you with, but here is the very first piece that I ever created. Please take it if you will. Life Roach. Wait, hold on. Increases max HP. Okay. Yeah, learn some skills, that's fine. The Queen is back and she defeated the Arthrosaurus. I wouldn't expect anything less from Queen Ming. You, quit hanging around here. Sick of fishing, so I'm just looking at the river now. After all, fishing's no fun when the soldiers are always giving you a hard time about it. What was down here? Now where are those children gone? It's like they just disappear whenever I have something for them to do. Any military? How do you get over there? Can you get over there? Where am I? I am in Canal Street. Right, so this Canal Street... Is that a shop? Right, so lost Numara. Numara Canal Street hidden merchant? Question mark. Alright. Frames have dropped a little bit. Probably because I'm opening a web page and trying to stream at the same time, and my teeny tiny little computer doesn't like doing this. It's struggling so hard. Right. Yeah, I think something. There is a. Oh, fuck's sake! Come on. I don't know. I don't know what it is about websites nowadays. It's so much nonsense on them. I do kind of miss just older, simpler sites that weren't loaded down with all this extra data to send. Like, I know I have, you know, you'll have like gigabit connection speeds, but like, Christ, if you need gigabit connection speeds to load a web page, there's something wrong with that site. Like, it's way too much just stuff being sent at you. Like, just simplify it. Just less stuff. And some of these sites are just packed with like really shitty ads that aren't really optimized very well. They just full of like just full of data that they shouldn't be full of. Reopen close tab. You are taking way too long. You know, no, it takes way too long. It's so fucking slow. So slow. Alright, come here. Where are you? Down. Alright. Something else. So that is... He is... Is it Shopkeeper Hiss? Yeah, like these sites, there's so much just information that gets sent back and forth, and it's... You shouldn't need it all. Like, just simplify it. Like, I just want a site to load quickly. Like, that's the whole fucking point. If it's a wiki, I don't want to wait like 5 minutes for a wiki page to load. If I'm waiting that long, you've designed your site badly. Right. Alright, so he becomes available a little bit later on. What do I need? Last seen her. What spells? I have alright, so Aqueous. Aqueous. Obtain Grand Staff. Okay. I don't know, I kind of... I don't want you to do that. Could be done better. Alright, it's not out here. I don't like the treasure hunting. I don't like having to go up and just talk to everyone. The actual NPC conversations in this game are really weird because it is like you can if there are like two NPCs standing next to each other, they might be having a conversation with each other. So when you go up and talk to them, like, you are experiencing that conversation. But if you talk to you can talk to them in like out of order, so you get the response before the original statement, and it's just really weird. Just don't do it like that. Don't do it like that. It's A before B, not B before A. Alright. We were heading up here. We have to fight Kakanas. And kill him. Cat. Alright. have returned to kill Kakanas.
Oh, great. It's I speak with a Majesty's voice.
Don't panic. Let's see how this plays out.
Who's panicking?
Welcome home, Your Majesty.
No, I don't trust him.
Thank you all for bringing our queen home to us unharmed.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
I don't trust him at all.
Why would you?
Huh? General, I have caused you concern. I ask that you look at me.
All of our people prayed for your safe return every day you were away from us. I am truly pleased.
Indeed.
You must be tired from your long journey. Please, rest and refresh yourself.
You can trust me. I won't try to kill you in your sleep. Ignore the rumbling outside, that's just, dogs. And horses. What the fuck is he doing?
How dare you return, you worthless harlot! And you're angry? Ha! As if you had the right. At last, I have taken control of Numara and destroyed its weak pacifism. I shall never relinquish my hold on it. Ha! I think I'll see just how immortal our queen really is.
She's very immortal.
Oh, do you see now? Numara is mine.
The people of Numara belong to no one!
Your Majesty?
General, you are such a fool.
He is, he's a fucking dumbass.
Oh, you planned this!
No, you planned.
Those who cannot conquer their desires shall never be fit to lead. How pathetic you are.
What? I'll kill you all!
Yeah, good luck.
Leave now?
See how he walks through it. Right, he's in the back, is he? The cast. No, he's in the front. Alright, so you... Mechanical. Cobra. Stick Cobra on yeah, shit.
Here.
Not too bad.
brace yourself.
Beware my blade!
Here.
Right, so
Beware my blade!
over again.
Better brace yourself.
I thought you were old and useless, Your Highness! But you've still got it in you! Fire! Fire until they are destroyed!
See if this is any better. Cover Fulton. Yay.
Here.
Beware my blade!
That's not real. Who is interesting? Johnson.
Okay.
Really
Close!
Beware my blade!
Need. Okay. I think I'm gonna win this fight.
Thanks.
I'm not done yet.
It's over!
Why must the king interfering? I I can make this nation stronger than pacifists and cowards like you! I am not finished yet! I will destroy you!
I'm hoping that this is not a strong hit. Yay. I need to return chance and no, you attack. You turn chance into you attack. And you cast Zephyr. Yeah. Zephyr's only when I throw it. It's not enough for you.
That was close.
But it should be enough to let them survive in the round. Okay, so the tank is coming. Right, that's better. That's nice. I thought I gave my casters skill, increase their casting time.
Your Majesty, haven't you seen the state of the world? with pacifism as our only policy, we will never be perceived as equal to other nations. In truth, the day is coming soon when we will be forced to capitulate.
Yes, I realized after seeing the world that sometimes power is needed. But General, the power you seek is power only for yourself. That is why it is weak.
Ugh. Right. Can we kill him?
I am the greatest!
99 caliber magic rifle. And learn some stuff.
Your Majesty!
Maya.
Oh, you're safe!
What the
I'm so sorry we failed to anticipate Kakana's scheme.
It's not
Give her
your
a face.
fault.
Give
I
her
was too
more
lenient
face
with him
than
by far.
anyone else in the game. Good
I
God, she
afforded
looks like
him
a
the
prune.
opportunity to run unchecked, and for that, the responsibility is mine.
Don't blame yourself.
He's right. I mean, that general is twisted.
And yet, even he too is another of Gongora's many victims.
Yeah, he does really well by himself.
Your Majesty, may I know the names of your companions?
Oh, yes. Oh, excuse me. I haven't introduced you. These are my loyal ladies-in-waiting. Maya here is my chief lady-in-waiting.
Greetings and welcome
Looks
to
like
New
you've been
Mara.
waiting a long
We are
time.
honored.
Maya, these people have become my dear friends and should be treated with the greatest courtesy. We are all working for a common goal, and we have an urgent mission to complete.
A mission? And what of New Mara, Your Majesty? To us, Your Majesty?
Please do as I would. As you have been closest to me, I believe you are capable of what I ask.
Executions for everyone.
I shall return as swiftly as possible.
What?
Yes, my queen. While Your Majesty is away, we shall protect New Mara. We shall not fail.
That face. Oh my god. Is it one of those weird things when a game just has like one character that they kind of like put a lot of effort into like the design of, and they stand out because like it's like watching like SpongeBob or something when you cut to a scene where it's like SpongeBob is suddenly drawn in loads of detail, or older like Ren and Stimpy older stuff where they did that, and it's just like so weird. All right, another dream. Oh. The Queen's loneliness. 1,000 years can change everything, including the landscape. Queen Ming surveys her capital from the palace window. The panoramic view is like a great history book. A volcano towering in the distance, which used to spew clouds of smoke, went dormant 700 years ago. Once part of the sea, the inlet was reclaimed 500 years ago to become a village for the fisherfolk who spend their lives in the ocean. The river once arched grandly across the landscape, but the deluge that occurred 300 years ago became the occasion for major flood control construction in the form of a perfectly straight channel. Where the river used to curve, there is now an oxbow lake in which reeds grow in profusion, and the banks provide the people with a rich natural bounty. Even the area that formerly was a barren, rock-strewn wasteland became a vast fruit-bearing garden thanks to the irrigation project that was undertaken 200 years ago. The mountain that was the center of the people's religious faith was enveloped in sky-scorching flames 100 years ago. Hold on. Okay, I have to hold on a moment. Right, where was I? The mountain that was the center of the people's religious faith was enveloped in sky-scorching flames 100 years ago. Formerly swathed in a thick green covering and seen as the home of the gods. I've never actually heard someone pronounce that word. Is it swathed or swathed? Is the home of the gods. The towering peak was transformed into a bare rock pile by a forest fire that burned for 3 days and nights. Almost everything that lived in the forest, birds and beasts of course, but many people too, died in the flames. The people in the village below mourned the horrible transformation of their god's abode, but now 100 years later the mountain is as green as ever. The people of the village and the people of the mountain still tell the story of the fire, but today's children can hardly imagine that the rich green slopes were once charred and blackened. Restored though it is to its original green lushness, of course the mountain could well be enveloped in flames again. 100 years from now, 200 years from now, or even tomorrow. Even if you should be charred bare again, however, trees would sprout anew, the birds and beasts and insects chased away by the fire would return to their homes, and given enough time, the mountain would be covered in green as before. Such are the workings of nature. Given enough time, dizzying stretches of time. But no, to become dizzy at the thought of vast stretches of time is a privilege of the ordinary folk, those who have no choice but to devote all their energies to living in the present. How fortunate they are to be able to look back to the past of 1,000 years ago like an old man telling a child a fairy tale. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago. And how truly fortunate one would be to be able to tell the story of this country's future as a rosy dream, the way children relate their own dreams of the future with flashing eyes, and who entrust that dream to the next reign. Ming stands at the window like this every morning. It is a special time of day for her, when she thinks about the livelihood of her subjects, watches for signs of enemy intrusions, and ponders measures she might wish to adopt. She has done this every day without fail for the past 1,000 years. The country has flourished. The people no longer starve as they did when she first took the throne. Future historians will no doubt sing the praises of Ming's 1,000-year reign. She will be extolled as the 1,000-year-old queen, and her noble figure will be vividly engraved in people's memories. Cherishing these memories of her, however, people will die before she does. The historians who praise her too, instead of witnessing her reign to its end, will then themselves become a part of history. Ming has been queen for the past 1,000 years, and probably will be for the next 1,000 years as well. Her Majesty is in excellent spirits again this morning, I trust. She hears the voice behind her. Her gaze still fixed on the streets of the city below, Ming answers. You are early today. Not so early if Her Majesty herself is already observing the smoke rising from the cauldrons of her people. She need not return to ascertain the identity of the smiling face behind her. It belongs to Nagram, her senior minister. The smile is courtly, genial, but deep within the narrowed eyes she knows there resides a dark gleam. Today I will accompany Her Majesty in the inspection of the troops. You? Yes, owing to a slight change in assignments today. Is that so? I am hardly up to the task, but I will do my best if Her Majesty will allow me to serve her in this capacity. I beg her permission. With her back still turned to Nagram, Ming gives a silent nod. Ah, yes, she thinks to herself with a bitter smile. Their plan goes into action today. Ming has sensed for a very long time, that Nagram is up to no good. He apparently has seized command of certain units of the Royal Guard. Scattered throughout the city, too, his people are lying low, ready to set fires as soon as his orders come down. No doubt about it, today, when the regular ceremonial inspection of the troops is scheduled to take place, is the perfect day for a coup. When Nagram leaves, Ming enters her office and summons Han, the most senior of her ministers, a true elder statesman and her most trusted confidant. Han, who sports a luxurious beard, has served Ming for over 40 years. Your Majesty, I understand Nagram was here earlier. Yes, apparently he is to accompany me to the inspection of the troops. This is all she has to tell him. Stroking his bushy beard, Han says, well, that means they've run out of patience. I know, replies Ming. I'm sure they can't wait to get started. What a fool Nagram is. He has absolutely no idea that Your Majesty has been letting him set his own trap. If he were smart enough to realize that, he would be taking at least 2 more years to make his preparations. Then he would have much more power at his disposal. He could link up not just with the Royal Guard, but also the main body of the army and the police force. He could conspire with external enemies and arrange for them to invade just as the ceremonies were getting underway. Then his coup would probably succeed. If he had the long-range vision to include the wealthy merchants and the intelligentsia among his allies, he might even be able to mount a revolution that would overthrow monarchy itself. That is what I would do if I were Nagram. As long as I was undertaking a coup, I would think about that much at least. Han's smile could not hide the fact that all this talk of a successful revolution was making him uncomfortable. Well, Her Majesty is unmatched by any enemy except one, Her Majesty herself. You may be right, Ming thinks. If she had an enemy with an eternal life like hers who was willing to devote all the time needed to planning a revolution, be it a whole century or even two, the result would surely go beyond revolution and develop into a full-scale civil war. Human lives, however, are limited in duration, and because of this limitation, humans rush to achieve results before they are ready. Nagram is one of them. He could live 200 years, to say nothing of 1,000. If he could, he would not be trying to take up arms at such an in-between point in time. Still, says Hans, I have to admit that Nagram has extended his forces far more successfully than I ever imagined. What have I been doing all this time? I'm utterly ashamed of myself. Well, don't let it bother you, Hans. Thanks to your inattention, you will probably be able to smoke out many more rats. Ming gives a satisfied chuckle. Nor is this mere bravado on her part. They chose not to arrest Nagram at an earlier stage, but allowed him to swim free for a while in order to take this opportunity to net the entire force of rebels both inside and outside the palace. Yes, I know, Han replies and goes on to explain the plan for crushing the coup. His plans are impeccable. The coup has virtually no chance of succeeding. All they need to do is carry out a wholesale arrest of the rebel royal guard units that rise up in the palace and the partisans lurking in the city, and it will be some time before any more individuals with outsized ambitions show up again. This will be our first purge in 15 years, Hans remarks. Has it been that long? It certainly has, Your Majesty. This fine beard of mine was jet black last time. Hans commanded the troops that put down the coup 15 years ago. Loyal, courageous and cool-headed, he is the ideal staff officer. Without a doubt, he is one of the very best military advisors Ming has had in over 1,000 years on the throne. How selfish of me, Hans. I should have let you retire years ago. Well, that is out of the question, Your Majesty. Serving you is my life. I am deeply honoured to have this final opportunity to be of service. True. Not even this superb retainer could be with her through all eternity. In another 5 years, 10 at the most, Hans, like other royal retainers of the past, will be laid to rest to the sound of military cannons. It is always like this. Just as the ambitious ones rush to make their mark because they cannot live forever, the loyal ones in whom she can place her complete confidence stake their very lives on serving her because they cannot live forever. They carve their names in a single line of history, and then they depart from Ming for the rest of eternity. Ming herself, though, goes on living. Eternal youth, immortality. So this is the dream of humanity, is it? None of them knows the loneliness of eternal life. When Hans next addresses Ming, there is a new urgency in his voice. About the troops that will quell the uprising. I will command the ones outside the palace. Do I have Her Majesty's permission to put command of the interior palace guards in the hands of my young protege, Yan? Ah yes, Yan. He may be young, but he's extremely capable. I have nurtured him carefully. I know he will serve Her Majesty splendidly after this old soldier is gone. I would like to give him the opportunity to distinguish himself in the current emergency. Ming herself is fully aware of Yan's outstanding qualities. Young, as he most certainly is, he far excels the other chamberlains in both the civil and military arts. He is undoubtedly the prime candidate to succeed Han as Ming's top general. What are Her Majesty's thoughts on the matter? All right then, let him take charge. Her Majesty has my unbounded thanks. I'm sure Yan himself will be deeply moved to learn that he has earned Her Majesty's confidence. Han has all but prostrates himself before her, an expression of relief on his face at having obtained Ming's permission. But still, he continues, Her Majesty has been wary of Nagram for a very long time. True, she says. Meanwhile, this old soldier of yours had no idea whatever Nagram might be planning a rebellion. I am deeply ashamed to confess it now, but to me he seemed the very model of loyalty. How is it that Her Majesty was able to see Nagram's actual disloyalty? Ming only smiles without answering his question. The same thing happened at the time of the coup 15 years ago, Hans continues. The only reason that we were able to suppress the revolt before it even got started was that Her Majesty saw it coming before anyone else. Then, as now, I was blind to the traitor's plot. If you say so, Han. Has Her Majesty forgotten? Well, it was so long ago. Ming tries to evade the issue. There is no way she could have forgotten. The ringleader of the coup 15 years ago was her most trusted retainer. When she first broached the subject to Han and the others, warning them to be on their guard against the man, all without exception insisted that he, above all, was beyond reproach. In the end, Ming's suspicions proved to be correct. She knew. However faithfully he carried out her orders, however warmly he swore his loyalty, she knew. These days, however, she has begun to wonder on occasion if that is something to be grateful for. The landscape is not the only thing that changes in 1,000 years. People's hearts also change. After numberless meetings and partings over the centuries, Ming has come to realize the fragility, the evanescence of trust. She no longer trusts anything in words. Neither can she fully trust everything in action. She knows by looking at a person's eyes. That way she can tell everything, to a mysterious and disheartening degree. In the eyes of all those who would bring harm to this country, without exception, there resides a dark gleam. It is there in all of them, the man plotting a coup, the man secretly involved in foreign enemies, the man fattening his purse with heavy taxes wrung from the people, the female spy who seduces high ministers to extract state secrets, the man who accepts huge bribes from merchants eager for the glory of becoming an official purveyor to the royal household. Neither their words nor their deeds give them away. Often the man himself has no idea of the misdeeds he will later commit, but Ming can tell. Only Ming, who has lived for 1,000 years. The silent voices tell her, be careful of this man. Don't take your eyes off of that woman. This was not the case in her youth, but having repeatedly tasted the bitter experience of betrayal, having been assailed by her own regrets and self-reproach, she has learned to doubt. Ming can see what no one else can, the dark gleam deep in the eyes. This has enabled her to ward off a variety of disasters before they could start. The kingdom has managed to flourish because Ming has more often chosen to doubt than to believe. This is the best course for her to follow as queen. It is, however, an infinitely lonely way to live. Nagram's coup collapses in an instant. The rebel units of the Royal Guard who draw their swords against Ming during the inspection of the troops in the plaza become the prey of Yan and his men, who have been hiding around the perimeter. Meanwhile, the anti-rebel forces under Han's commands pounce on Nagram's followers, who have been gathering to set fire to the city, and arrest them without resistance. Poor Nagram grovels on the earth begging for his life. To him, Ming says only, I grant you the right to die with honor. A soldier lays a sword before Nagram. Wordlessly, Ming conveys to Nagram that it is time for him to take his own life. She turns on her heels and returns to the palace under armed escort. This will keep anyone from having thoughts of fomenting rebellion for a while at least. The peace of the kingdom has been preserved, but it will not last forever. When the memory of Nagram's coup begins to fade 10 years from now, or 20, or even 100, another man with ambition will emerge, as has happened so many times before. It is the role of the Queen to accept this endlessly repeating cycle, Ming tells herself, sighing. Ming is standing at the palace window, surveying the city streets below when Yan enters the room. Your Majesty, I'm here to report that Nagram successfully took his own life a short while ago. Oh, did he dispatch himself with dignity? He did. Traitor though he was, he died in a way befitting a commanding general. Return his body to his family with all due ceremony. She turns and stares straight at Yan, whose spine stiffens under the onslaught of her gaze, and then she sees it without a doubt. The dark gleam flashes deep within his eyes for one fleeting instant. So Yan is another one, is he? She thinks with a bitter smile. Unable to fathom the meaning of her smile, Yan is at a loss for words. Thank you for all your efforts, Ming says to him. Suppressing a sigh, she turns to the window again. The sky stretches overhead in an expanse of blue. The only thing unchanged for the past 1,000 years may be the blue of that sky. Still, I am the queen, Ming tells herself, meditating on her role. I am the one who rules this country and maintains the people's happiness. She gazes long and hard at the sky, rising to her full, proud height. Oh look, it's Queen Ming. A little boy in an alleyway below the castle spots Ming and begins waving at her wildly. Queen Ming! Queen Ming! A woman, the boy's mother no doubt, charges out of a doorway and bowing humbly to Ming, begins scolding the boy for his rude behaviour. Ming herself, however, waves back at him, a placid smile on her face. Smiling joyfully at this unexpected response from Her Majesty the Queen, the boy starts jumping up and down, shouting, "Long live Queen Ming! Long live Queen Ming!" Ming stares again at the sky above. Unchanged though it has been for 1,000 years, the blue of the sky penetrates more deeply into her eyes and her heart than it ever did in the tales of her youth. The end.
We should take the white boa.
Yes.
The white boa?
The big boat.
If it's a ship you need, we have the Nautilus.
Oh no, the boat.
To get through the ice fields, we'll need a ship that can break the ice with its hull. And the white boa can do that.
Well, it's true the Nautilus doesn't have as much strength. She'd probably be no match against the ice. I guess she wouldn't be right for this one.
Oh, I meant no insult to the Nautilus. She has shown unmatched maneuverability. And we shall have need of her again. Please, lend us your help when we need it.
Yeah, sure. Leave it to me.
We should be able to berth the Nautilus inside the White Boa. That way we could use either ship when needed.
That's true. I shall go ahead of you to the harbor to give instructions for our departure.
Ming,
What is it?
will you go back? Not to our world, but to your country.
What?
You must choose at some point. A 1,000 years is a long time.
There are many important things to be done in this world.
Kaim. What will you do?
Right, where are we? Have we been in here before? Is this... Yeah, open, please. Bells. How am I looking for... rest. How am I doing on the dreams? How many of these have I got now? Missing... Yeah, still missing a few. Still missing quite a few. They start automatically when you go into an area. I don't know how you can miss them. Unless they expect you to revisit an area after something else has happened. I just haven't done that. It's in the past during the bombings, but we shouldn't just thinking about it. Okay. Now I have like what, 81 seeds. I was just a little drowsy after training out my cleaning duty. Get the secret from the queen at least. Okay. Just gotta like, you have to talk to everyone just to figure out if there's a piece of treasure hidden somewhere. Yeah. Oh, I don't care. Oh yeah. A lot of damage. Right, so we need to... We head this way. Yeah, okay. Because with any luck, hold on. God, I forgot. Definitely got a new gun. Yeah, maybe the drawbridge is down. Dog. Yeah, the monument in front of the palace has collapsed and a bird is trapped in the rubble. I'll fetch some medicine. You go and get the bird out of there. Alright, so now we have another quest. How many slot seeds do I have? 1. What does it mean? Oh, she's just not in the party at the moment. Found the injured bird. Pick up the bird. Thank you for helping out the bird. Hopefully it'll get better with this medicine I brought him. Huh? Look, there's something caught in his feathers. What is this thing? What must be? Never mind. Here, sir, you can have it. I need to concentrate on the bird. 6-inch statue. Fucking video game logic is... Oh. It's like when you... Actually, let me check here. Alright, so now I have 82 seeds. That might be all of them. Gonna check the pipot. I love video game logic when it's like, yeah, I need boar skulls. Go and fight some boars. So you kill boars and you loot them, and like none of them have skulls. It's just like, what kind of crazy fucked up boars are these? Like, I've killed 18 boars and only 2 of them had skulls. Was it? Was it like Penny Arcade or one of those? Had the one where they're killing wolves. I was like, I found a sword inside this wolf. The sword is bigger than the wolf. Video game logic. Right. Yeah. Okay. He's open now. Hey there. So nice to see a customer come this way. What's that? There we go. Can you move out of my way, please? No. Hey, you can't just take that. Hey, come back here. Ah, make me... I guess me every time. I'm gonna teach him a lesson one of these days. Of course you can call something. A dream has been revealed. Of course it has. Not what I was looking for or hoping for, but lottery of life. Howdy, kids. It's like playing the lottery. That was how the police commissioner put it, with a grim smile in his eye. He was the man in charge of domestic security. Sometimes you pick a winner, sometimes you pick a loser. Life is like that. You can't control it. And Kym responded with a silent nod. Not that he was convinced that you could divide people into winners and losers, but that was how they did it here in this country that was the size of a city. He had no choice but to recognize it as reality because the man who kept the peace here believed it, and this nation was known for having the best public safety of all the countries in the region. Every kid in there is a loser. He spat out, jerking his chin towards the juvenile prison visible from his office window. Built to hold young criminals, this was the largest and the most strictly run and most closely guarded prison to be seen in any of the neighbouring countries. His treatment of his young inmates was also the harshest. You're a foreigner, Kym, so you may not approve, but we have our own way of doing things. I see, Kym said. Losers are losers. There's nothing you can do to make losers into winners. It's never going to happen. Far from it. If you coddle losers, they just turn into bigger losers and give the decent people a lot of trouble. See what I mean? Well, that's one way of looking at things. Kym's deliberate irony was lost on the police commissioner. No, it's the only way. If you're going to have a safe, peaceful country, he declared. And we'll expect you to abide by this view too. Kym had nothing more to say to him. If we were to insist on confronting the police commissioner, he might be seen as questioning the authorities, which could land him in the adults' prison. This would be easy enough to bring about for the police commissioner, indeed for anyone in the city-state who stood on the side of the powers that be. The commissioner glanced again towards the juvenile prison. They built that place 80 years ago, he said, which is to say the very first building they made when the present political system came into being was a prison to throw young offenders into. Kym knew this. For Kym, whose life went on forever, events of 80 years ago before could well have happened yesterday. 80 years earlier, this country had experienced a coup d'etat. The revolutionary government ruled the people under a military dictatorship and jailed every last person suspected of disturbing the peace and order. The government was especially wary of younger criminals. There's a limit to how serious a kid's crimes can be. But let them get away with those, and the next thing you know, they're doing really bad stuff. They might be satisfied with shoplifting at first, but soon they're into burglary, muggings. They start using weapons, and in the end they think nothing of killing people. You have to nip them in the bud. The kids sent to the prison were fed the absolute minimum to keep them alive. No doctor saw them if they fell sick or were injured. Subjected to such harsh imprisonment, they succumbed one after another, and more than a few of them ended up as cold corpses pitched out the back door. Whenever one did manage to serve out his term and return to the outside world, he found it impossible to erase the brand of loser. Children with criminal records were soundly rejected by respectable society. The social system was structured in such a way that nothing worked for them: employment, marriage, and even finding a place to live. Expelled by society, these boys and girls returned to crime as a way to stay alive, eventually ending up in an adult prison. With a bitter smile, the police commissioner said to Kime, "I'm sure this all sounds terrible to an outsider like you." Kime answered with a slight nod. This only served to increase the bitterness of the commissioner's smile. "I know what you're thinking," he said, "and to tell you the truth, I sometimes think the system is a little too harsh on them too. But you have to realize that we're not just punishing bad kids, we're also holding them up as an example to the good ones. What would they think if they saw the ex-criminals out on the street again walking along like nothing ever happened? They'd figure that even if they got their hands dirty and spent a few years in jail, they could just go back to their old lives. That society's punishment is no big deal, that they can get away with murder. We wouldn't want our kids to be like that, would we? So the only thing is for us grown-ups to teach them. Look at those guys, we can say. All it takes is one bad deed and your life is over. So you'd better listen to your parents and teachers and be good." He definitely had a point. Kime was willing to grant him that, but still, the commissioner must have noticed a hint of shadow across Kime's face, and he shifted his tone of voice. With bureaucratic conviction, he declared, "The authorities have received word that there is going to be a coup. Of course, the military have everything under control, so there is nothing to worry about. They could suppress it right now if they wanted to. They could easily attack the agitators and capture the ringleaders of the plot. In this case, though, they have decided to let it get started in order to smoke out every last one of the reactionary elements." Oh, you've heard something like this before. According to the government's intelligence, the uprising was scheduled to occur that very night. "We are prepared for just about any eventuality, but there is always the possibility of the unexpected. If there were a riot inside the juvenile prison, timed to coincide with the rebellion, that could be a real problem." This is why Kime had been hired as a temporary prison guard, a bodyguard for the state. "Counting on your skills as a seasoned warrior, which is why we're entrusting you with such a major responsibility. Be sure you live up to our expectations. If you have to resort to violence, we have no problem with that. Whatever you do, it will be for the sake of law and order. It will be in order to protect the happy lives of the decent citizens of our nation. Carry out your duties with complete dedication of body and soul." The commissioner handed Kime a one-page document. It was literally a license to kill. Act without the slightest restraint. All the prison guards have one of these. But still, if you hesitate to impose the ultimate punishment on a single loser, then countless winners among the upstanding citizenry must suffer the consequences. You understand, I'm sure. Once a loser, always a loser. Rather than living with such a burden, they themselves might be happier to have you kill them and get it over with. Kime accepted the document from the commissioner without comment. "Well, that completes our contractual arrangement. Now assume your post." With a perfectly straight face, the commissioner cautioned Kime, "Just make sure you don't let any foolish compassion get in your way." The season was midwinter, but Kime found no hint of fire burning in the juvenile prison. In their tiniest solitary cell, the young inmates, wrapped in ragged blankets, lay helplessly in the dark. Painful moaning came from one cell, suggesting its inmate might be running a fever. From another came unbroken, shrill, mean laughter that could mean only the person's mind had snapped. "What you see is what you get," said the veteran guard, guiding Kime on his first round of inspection. Not one of those faces shows any life. So even if something were to happen, these pitiful creatures couldn't do a damn thing. They're losers, alright. They're breathing, but that's about it. Is there really no possibility of them being rehabilitated and becoming winners? The other guard gave Kaim a momentary blank stare and then said with a laugh and a wave, No, none at all. 80 years since the revolution, and the change of generations have replaced virtually all the people from that time. Since coming of age, this prison guard, who had no memory of life before the revolution, had been implanted with the idea that people were either winners or losers, and he surely never doubted it. They went out of their way to hire you, so it might be a little strange for me to say this, but I'm sure the kids in here are never going to riot, no matter how well things get on the outside. Splash a little cold water on them and they'll quiet right down. There's almost none of them you have to worry about. Almost. Well, I can't claim that about every single one of them. There are even losers among the losers, unfortunately. The guard showed Kaim to the end of the hall, and there he opened the lock on a door so thick it could be mistaken for a section of wall. Beyond here are the punishment cells. This is where we throw the incorrigible losers, the ones who have caused trouble on work details, the ones who take a defiant attitude, the ones who show no sign of remorse for their crimes. Suddenly it was clear to Kaim. It was clear to him because he had experienced countless battlefields in his life. The punishment cells were darker and far colder than the regular cells, but from the depths of the darkness, from within each individual cell, there emanated a quiet heat that could not be felt from the regular cells. The people in here were alive. They were not simply breathing, they were alive with real passion. The crimes that originally got them locked up here were nothing much, a little burglary, some purse snatching, flashing a knife, stuff like that. If they'd just quietly served out their terms, they'd be out now, living obscure lives somewhere. Instead they resisted, kept resisting. They called for better treatment of inmates. They appealed for an end to discrimination against former prisoners. The number of their crimes multiplied until it became clear they would never get out of here alive. They'll just go straight from here to the adult prison when they grow up. It'll be 20 or 30 years before they can breathe the outside air again, if they can live that long, which would be quite an accomplishment. The guard concluded with a belly-shaking laugh, which was interrupted by a voice echoing from a dark cell. Stop that laughing. It was a quiet but commanding voice, but one that retained a hint of boyishness. A look of fear crossed the guard's face, though he quickly reverted to a sneer. This is the biggest pain we've got, he said. His name is Duran. They say he was the leader of a gang of juvenile delinquents on the outside, but here he's just a noisemaker. The guard picked up a bucket of water from the corridor floor with a thin sheet of ice on its surface and heaved the contents into Duran's cell. This is what works best on these kids. Behind the bars, the drenched boy had rolled himself up in a ball. This should be enough for them to freeze to death, but the water itself freezes again in the early morning. So then their hair and eyelashes and any other hair they've got gets coated in ice. Some of them have lost fingers and toes to frostbite. The guard laughed again. Duran lay there curled up, but his eyes were shining with such intensity that it is as if he were trying to melt ice with the heat seething in his breast. Kaim knew those eyes. They are the eyes of a warrior, and not just any warrior, but one on the very front line in a losing battle who watches for a chance to turn the battle in his favour. And Kaim knew something else. The system was beginning to unravel. It had kept the people in a state of suppression for 80 long years, ever since the revolution, but the very moment of its undoing had arrived. The prison fires started that night. Kaim, it's the coup! The guards came running to report the situation on the outside. Fires had been set throughout the city, he said. This was, of course, the uprising that government intelligence had anticipated. Martial law was declared and the government was mobilizing the entire police force and army. Word had come too that the ringleaders were already under arrest. One element, however, had been wholly unanticipated. The guard informed him. The wind is strong tonight. Fanned by unseasonable winds, the flames were racing through the city. On orders from the commissioner, we are not to fight fires in the juvenile prison. Is that clear? Do not engage in firefighting here. In other words, no one will be coming to save the inmates. It can't be helped, said the guard. The army and the fire department have all they can do to put out fires in the city and evacuate the people. They can't spare any men to protect this place, and we've been ordered to join in the rescue effort in town. I guess that means we let the kids out. This was a given, I'm assumed. Left locked up in their cells, the young inmates would burn to death. Don't be ridiculous, the guard shot back. These kids are all losers. We've gone to the trouble of locking them in here, and now we're supposed to let them out? Are you serious? Kine replied. Are you serious? I can't believe you say anything so stupid. I'm telling you, they're losers. We don't have time to save them, and we're certainly not going to let them run loose. The commissioner would never allow such a thing. He obviously meant every word he was saying. They were planning to let them die. The flames were spreading quickly, and screams could be heard throughout the prison. There was no time to appeal directly to the commissioner, and such an appeal would only end in failure. He was sure. Give me the cell keys, Kine said. You're joking, the guard laughed. There was only one thing to do. Without a word, Kine landed a punch in the guard's solar plexus. The guard went down in a heap, and Kine tore the clump of keys from the cell. The first cell he opened was Duran's. The boy came out looking confused. Are you one of us? He asked Kine. Are you with the coup? Not interested, he answered. So why are you letting us go? Duran asked. Because I don't like dividing people up into winners and losers. Thanks, Duran said. Sporting a big grin, he took the keys from Kine and turned back away to start opening the other cells. I want you to come back, Kine said to him from behind. What's that? This is an emergency evacuation. When the sun comes up and the fires are out, I want you to come back here. You kids still haven't finished paying for your crimes. You must be kidding. Not at all, Kine said. If you kids run away, that'll just prove you're right. Once a loser, always a loser. Is that alright with you? Don't you want to show the ones who rule this country that they're wrong, that people can change? You'll never get another chance like this. This coup is going to fail. You can run around all you want, but you're going to catch you in the end. You'll always be branded losers. They might even kill you when they catch you. Duran turned to stare at Kine. The prison was already surrounded by flames. Against this bright red backdrop, Duran's eyes still burned with the fighting spirit of a warrior. This country's political system can't last much longer. The day will come when you kids can leave prison with your heads held high. I absolutely believe that. And because I believe it, I don't want to see you die for nothing. Kine turned from Duran to pull the guard up from the floor. Come back after sunrise. With this final admonition to Duran, Kine hoisted the guard onto his back and trudged away. These events occurred 50 years ago. An air of freedom pervades the country now when Kine visits 50 years later. True, he does catch glimpses of young toughs and juvenile delinquents, where the nightlife thrives, but he feels this is just a sign of the free and easy times. An old man calls out to him, "Are you a traveller?" When Kine nods, the man says with a smile, "You're in luck. We're having a celebration in Revolution Square today. I hear the grand old man of the revolution is going to attend. It'll keep going all night long." A celebration? Well, that's right. I see you're too young to know what happened here in the old days. We had a coup 50 years ago on this very day. The coup itself was put down in one night, but the rebel troops set fires all through the city, so the rest of us were running around like crazy in all directions. Fanned by the wind, the flames quickly enveloped the whole city, and a lot of the city people were stranded on a sandbar downwind. I was one of them. I had my pregnant wife and baby daughter with me, so I couldn't just dive into the river to escape. Before we knew it, sparks were raining down on the sandbar, and I figured we were done for. We'd all burnt to death as soon as the dry grass caught fire. Just as he was giving up hope, he says, a helping hand was extended to them from the most unlikely source. The kids from the juvenile prison came to help us. They were all skin and bones, and their prison uniforms were falling apart. The prison staff hardly fed them a thing, but they pooled what strength they had. They saved old folks and children from the sandbar, and they struggled to douse the fires that caught in the dry grass. I saw one boy carry a child across the river and collapse and die the second after he reached the other shore. And some of the ones who were fighting grass fires were overcome by the smoke and burned to death. They risked their lives to save us. Their own lives were not worth living, but those losers risked their lives to save the lives of winners like us. When the sun came up and they could be sure that the fires were safely out, the young inmates went back to the juvenile prison. Yes, it's true, the place was an absolute hell for them, but they went back inside just the same. Not one of them took advantage of the confusion to run away. Played it strictly by the rules, wouldn't you say? We were really moved by their behaviour, and people started saying that maybe these losers had their good points after all. Maybe once a loser, always a loser was wrong. The whispers spread throughout the country, quietly but surely. Soon the view emerged that the treatment of juvenile prison inmates should be improved. Another increasingly widely held view was that society ought to welcome ex-inmates more warmly once they had paid for their crimes. Finally, the change in attitude toward loser children took the shape of dissatisfaction with the political system that had continued to foster such a dictatorship, and 40 years ago, a second coup occurred. This next coup took the shape of a citizens' revolution that involved the masses, and for that reason, it succeeded. That's how the form of government we have today got its start. Listening to the old man's reminiscences, Klein finds himself smiling and nodding again and again, deeply moved. The last thing the old man tells him is the name of the hero who led the revolution and became the first president of the new government, Duran. Tens of thousands of people have gathered in Revolution Square as fireworks are sent aloft and the brass band plays the rousing national anthem. The grand old man of the revolution takes to the stage amid thunderous cheers and applause. Duran! Duran! Our Duran! Advanced in years now, and having long since removed himself from the centre of politics, Duran still has that youthful fiery gleam in his eyes. There is no way for him to spot time among the assembled throng, and even if he were to notice him, he could never imagine that this young man who changed him 50 years ago was the temporary prison guard on that fateful night. Still the old hero proclaims, "People can change, there are no winners or losers." His words are greeted with cheers and fireworks, and the excitement of the celebration reaches his peak. Klein makes his way to a stand at the far end of the square and ties himself up with a liquor. He raises his cup to the hero of the revolution, who from this distant vantage point appears to him no larger than a speck. He downs the drink in a single blow. When the intensely strong liquor has passed his throat, it leaves a sweet and mellow aftertaste. The end. Jesus Christ. Just keep going. Alright. Alright, this is the thing. I can't take much time for the kid to get out of the funk now. That does mean all the tanks are gone. Zap is gone when you try crossing it. Blip blah blah boo. Shouldn't be the bop boo. Alright. Not. Where is the? That's not the ball. Is it? I thought the ball was the big like blue boat. Or did she call it the white ball? I can't remember what they called the boat. If it's the white ball, it could be that one. I thought that was a building. Alright, where? I don't actually. No, I don't know how many seeds are in the game in total. I think it's 82. I read a thing, and 82 sounds about right. Increases match HP. Yes. Actually, how many seeds are in total in this game? That is like something I quite I quite like when you have something like that where you collect seeds and you give them to this thing and it gives you something in return, and it's a unique item. You can't get it any other way. It makes the whole seed collection thing actually worthwhile, worth doing. Whereas other games, you know, the rewards you get might be something you can just get anywhere else. You know, you get it. Maybe you get it earlier or later. Because I played games that have done something like that where it's you get something as a reward, and you're just like, well, I could have used this like 10 levels ago. Right, let's see. Odyssey. Seed rewards. Seeds. No, it's up in 10, so it's not 82. 80. I got the Gigante's whatever brooch for giving him 80 seeds. There are 99 seeds. Are they missable? Are seeds missable? James, that's it. Does the auction house sell seeds? So I'm missing 17. Well, if there are any missable ones, they'll be in the auction house, apparently. And I appreciate that auction house. Like, I hate missable stuff in games. It's just so frustrating. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. It's getting late. We've got a lot done. We had 3 dreams, I think. We beat 5 Arthrosauruses, and we beat up Cacanas. And we fought a couple of those really big axolotl kind of things. Next, we're getting the ship, which might be that thing there. I don't know if that's a ship or if it's a tower. We're going to probably get Ming's harp, and we can go fight the heavenly beast. Try to fight it. It might kick our asses. Who knows? Might have to set the party differently. Swap Jansen out for maybe Sarah, and get Sarah or Cook, because I'm probably going to need a lot of cover us to mitigate damage, because it might be a tough fight. Yeah, a lot to do. Anywho, that's everything for today. Shanae, and bye bye.